Have you ever felt like your personal growth is just one step forward, two steps back? You get this huge burst of motivation. You start strong, and then life happens. Well, today we are going to break that cycle for good. We're diving into a powerful framework I'm calling the growth guarantee. It's all about building systems that make your transformation not just possible, but pretty much inevitable.
I mean, look at this. This is the goal, right? Standing at the summit, reaching that new peak in our skills, our career, our well-being. That desire to get better, to hit those big goals, it's in all of us. It's what gets us out of bed in the morning.
But here's the thing. If we all want it so bad, why is it so tough to keep the momentum going? Why do our big New Year's resolutions just fizzle out by February? Why do we start learning something new with all this incredible energy, only to find ourselves right back where we started a few weeks later? It's super frustrating, and it happens to everyone. Well, here's the secret. The problem isn't that you lack desire. Not at all. The problem is that we've all been sold on the wrong tool for the job. We're trying to rely on motivation and willpower. And honestly, it's time we call that what it is, a complete myth. This right here is exactly why willpower is a terrible strategy. Think about it. Motivation is just a feeling, and feelings are fickle, right? They completely disappear the second life gets busy or stressful. Our schedules get wrecked, we can't really see the tiny bits of progress we're making, so we get discouraged. And before you know it, your entire future is basically riding on how you feel on some random Tuesday morning. That is no way to grow. Okay, so if motivation is the myth, then what's the truth? The truth is that real, lasting change doesn't come from just trying harder or gritting your teeth. It comes from building smarter. It's a total shift in how you approach the whole thing.
And here it is. This is the absolute core idea of this whole explainer. If you remember one thing, make it this. Systems. Beat willpower. Every single time. A good system works even when you're tired, uninspired, or just not feeling it. A system is the engine that just keeps running no matter what.
This comparison just lays it all out perfectly. Relying on willpower, it's like trying to carry water in a leaky bucket. It's exhausting, it's temporary, and you lose most of it along the way. But building a system, that's like building a pipeline. It's a solid structure that just delivers the results automatically and consistently, day in and day out.
And this is basically what a system feels like. It's a set of interconnected parts, like gears in a machine that you design yourself, where each piece turns the next one. Once you get a system like this in place for your own development, your growth stops being a game of chance. It just becomes the inevitable outcome of the machine you've built. So, the big question is, how do we actually build this machine? All right, let's get into the practical side. Let's see how you can become the architect of your own growth. And like any good architect, you got to start with a blueprint.
First things first, you can't get where you're going if you don't know where you are. That's what the growth audit is for. You just take a moment and honestly rate yourself across these 5 key areas. Now, this isn't about feeling bad about where you are. It's about finding the one area where a little improvement will create the biggest ripple effect over the next 90 days. It's all about strategic focus.
Okay, so once you've picked your main focus area, the next step all comes down to one single, really powerful number: 3. This is what we call your priority trio, and it's designed to give you absolute clarity. Instead of trying to juggle 10 different goals, you focus all your energy. You pick one skill that's going to be a game changer for you. You select one daily habit to build that skill, and you target one weakness that's really holding you back. So, for example, if your focus is your career, maybe the skill is public speaking, the habit is practicing for 15 minutes a day, and the weakness is avoiding networking events. See? Simple, focused, and incredibly powerful.
All right, with your priorities locked in, it's time to build the engine. This is the daily system that's going to turn that blueprint of yours into a reality, one day at a time.
Forget about trying to cram for hours on end. That never works. The secret here is consistency, not intensity. So the micro-learning system is simple. You commit to just 15 minutes a day. That's it. Listen to a podcast on your way to work, read a quick article at lunch. The only rule is you have to capture one key idea from it. This tiny little commitment makes learning feel easy. And more importantly, it makes it something you'll actually stick with.
But here's the deal. Learning is totally useless if you don't do anything with it. So the application engine makes sure that knowledge actually becomes a real skill. Each week, just take one thing you learned and put it into practice. Test it out. Use it in a real project at work. This is the feedback loop that actually makes the learning stick and builds real confidence.
And this is what it looks like when you can actually track what you're doing. You can literally see your progress laid out in front of you. And let me tell you, when you can measure your actions, you create a feedback loop that's way more motivating than just, hoping you're getting better.
And all of this builds up to the absolute magic of what we call compounding rituals. It works just like compound interest in a bank account, but for your life. These small, seemingly tiny daily actions, when you do them over and over, they build on each other. And over a few months or a year, they create this massive, transformative result you could never, ever get in just one big burst of effort.
So your daily system is the engine. That's awesome. But even the best engine needs a solid frame around it and a good support crew. So let's talk about building the external structure that's going to protect and reinforce all your hard work.
This is your accountability architecture. It's really just about making your goals known, even if it's just to one other person. Find a friend to be your accountability partner. Track your wins together each week. Maybe use a visible scoreboard, like a whiteboard on your wall or even a simple spreadsheet. These things are the structures that keep you going when your own internal motivation inevitably takes a nosedive.
And this might be one of the most important truths in all of personal development. Seriously, stop trying to force yourself to have more discipline. It's a losing battle. Instead, just design an environment where doing the right thing is the easiest and most obvious choice.
So how do you actually do that? Well, start with the obvious stuff. Remove distractions. Set up a specific spot in your house that's just for learning. Clean up your social media feeds so they're a source of inspiration, not comparison and anxiety. And maybe most importantly, make a real effort to surround yourself with people who lift you up and challenge you to be better.
Your physical space is constantly sending signals to your brain. A messy, cluttered desk just screams chaos. But a clean, organized space like this one, it signals focus, it signals clarity. You're basically making the action you want to take, in this case learning, the path of least resistance.
So let's just bring it all home with this one powerful idea. It all comes back to this. Stop searching for that one massive leap forward. Instead, just find the small, daily ritual you can actually commit to, because that is the real path to extraordinary, lasting transformation.
So as we wrap this up, I want you to think about this. Your entire growth machine, this whole big system, it starts by just turning a single tiny gear. It could be a 15-minute reading habit. It could be a weekly check-in with a friend. It could be just cleaning your desk at the end of the day. So the real question is, what's the first gear you're going to build?
Find your true identity.
Lead your life with intention.